Hey everybody, I found out that Malachi Throne passed away. He actually passed away when I first learned it, about 19 hours prior to that at night. For those of you who regularly follow my channel, particularly when I go to WonderCon or Comic-Con, you remember that I interviewed Malachi Throne not just once but twice.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Malachi Throne from the cage, the most famous episode in Star Trek history, where you played the Admiral. And sir, I'm going to ask you, how has your life changed since then? Because you're part of American culture, a legend. Seriously, you really are.
Seriously, well, it's nice to be recognized, and it's also nice at this particular age.
The first time, though, what I remembered and what I love about what I'm doing is the ability to use video blogs to capture people who represent really important moments in our culture and pop culture. It's fun. I feel like I have my fingertips on the culture when I talk to a person like Malachi Throne. But I remember when I first saw him at WonderCon in 2010, when WonderCon was in San Francisco, I went up and I was all set to interview him. I started interviewing him. I called him Malachi Throne because no one had told me how to pronounce his name. I had never heard his name pronounced. And just as I said that, he said, "It's Malachi," in that booming voice of his. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to start this all over again and give this video the proper opening. And so what you will see if you click here in my interview with WonderCon is what I restarted with. And I'm very proud of that.
To be remembered for a couple of things, and one of which is I feel grateful that all you young people, younger than me anyway, I was part of your lives in growing up. And that's the most gratifying thing that I could imagine my work to be. And that's about all.
Because Malachi Throne was in pretty much every important television show between the late 60s and between the 60s and the 70s. And really taking all the way up through the 2000s if you think about Star Trek The Next Generation. But he played Noah Bain in It Takes a Thief next to Robert Wagner, and then of course he was False-Face on Batman, but most famously he was Commodore Jose Mendez, the man who was really not there but there while Captain Kirk was going through his court-martial. It was all a Telosian trick. I think I've seen that episode 30 times over my lifetime.
Let me ask this another way. What do you think of the impact Star Trek has had on society? I mean, is it unexpected? I mean, are you surprised?
Totally unexpected. As a matter of fact, it's a precursor for almost all the technological advances that we've had today so far. And so was Dick Tracy with his wristwatch, you know?
Right, that's right.
All that stuff. But sci-fi was never taken seriously until Star Trek.
But so when you see that image that many times, when you see Mr. Throne in person, regardless of how old he is, you remember him just like that. So I really am sad because it really gives meaning to what I do when I go to an event like Night of 100 Stars and I talk to someone who maybe had their A-list moment years ago or decades ago, and maybe they just got it back and then lost it again. And acting is hard because a lot of actors go undiscovered, or when they get that big break, they wonder if people are going to remember what they did later in life. Here's the good news: we don't forget. And video is a way of allowing us never to forget. Malachi Throne, we will never, ever forget you.